Okay, everybody, hold on. Let's say remove. Okay, great. Okay, everybody, I am so sorry. Something happened, I think, with our server. So I'm just going to let everybody know that we're back real quick. Then we'll hop on in and do this live stream like we were just about to start doing. Give me just a second to share this out one last time, and then we will be good to go. Let's see, what am I doing here? I think it should be live on my page. Here we go. Here we are. Okay. Okay, I've shared it out. Let me just take this off so that we are not having inception levels of echo. I believe that is roughly all I need to do. Oh, you know what? Nope. There's one more thing I need to do. I need to put it in the comments section like I did last time. One second. Do that. Okay. We'll do that. We'll do that. And we will do this. Or actually, let's not do, we'll do this. Okay. All right, everybody. Sorry about that interruption. Like I said, I believe it might have been a server. One of our servers seemed like they might have crashed. I really don't know what happened. I was sitting here just like y'all were, and boom, I was talking, and then the next thing I saw was a big spiral. So we are back. So let's just start the intro all over. And I'll try and get this done in the remaining time that I have left. So, hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Lovely from the Live Stream Facebook book club. Facebook or YouTube book club. It's the only online book club at PCCLD. You can attend live or in your own time. Either way, we're happy to have you. So basically how the book club works is you sign up for the newsletter at the beginning, or you sign up with the newsletter, and then I give you all the discussion questions, author interviews, the reason why we picked this book, some insight to other books that you might like in the same genre. That's when you sign up for the newsletter at the beginning of the month or whenever you sign up for it. So at the beginning of each month, I announce what book we're reading, and then I do weekly check-ins on the Facebook page to see where we are. Talk about different passages that we might like. Try not to do any spoilers for people who might not be caught up to where we are. So that's the beauty of the book club, is that you can join in when it's convenient for you. So if you just want to drop by the Facebook and say, hey, I'm at this part of the book, these are the things I like, these are the things I don't like, you can do that. You can join the live stream. And in fact, if you want to be on camera with me, I have put in the comments section, on the Facebook page, my Lovely from the Library, and the Lamb Facebook page, and the Lamb YouTube, there is an invitation for anyone who has read the book and wants to join in and share some of their insights. So today's book is Written in Bone, Hidden Stories in What We Leave Behind. It's written by Sue Black. Let me go over here and share a little bit of this real quick. Hold on. Let's go up. That's not what I wanted to share, y'all. I'm sorry. Oh, that's the discussion guide. Sorry. There we go. So this is Sue Black. So, so today's book is Written in Bone, Hidden Stories in What We Leave Behind by Sue Black, author of All That Remains. So, as the blurb up there says, Dame Sue Black, DBEFRSE, is one of the world's leading anatomists and forensic anthropologists. She is also the pro vice chancellor for the engagement at Lancaster University. They probably say Lancaster. I don't know. I'm not British. Her forensic expertise has been crucial to solving high-profile criminal cases. She was the lead anthropologist for the British forensics teamwork in the war crimes investigation in Kosovo. She worked in Thailand after the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, and she makes regular appearances on the radio and television. She was appointed Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire in 2016. She lives in Scotland. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what this book is about really quickly. So basically, in Written in the Bone, Sue Black builds on her first book, which was called All That Remains, taking us on a guided tour of the human skeleton and explaining how each person's life history is revealed in their bones, which she calls the last sentinels of our mortal life to bear witness into the way we lived it. So basically, what this book is, it is a collection of her anecdotes talking about different, let me get my face back here so y'all can see me. Y'all want to see me? Let's do that. Okay, so basically this book is a collection of anecdotes about certain cases and her reaction to them and some of the results. The way it's broken up into basically the bones and the sections of your body. So the way that she has it is the head, and then we talk about the brain box and the face. Then part 2 is the body, and it's the postcranial axle bone. So we talk about the spine, the chest, the throat, the thorax, the larynx, and the vertebral column. And then the third part are the limbs, the postcranial appendicular bone. So we talk about the pectoral girdle, the pelvic girdle, the long bones of the hands, and the foot. Now, overall, I thought that this book was well written. Hold on, I'm trying to find a banner. I thought that this book was very well written. I didn't finish this book. I didn't finish this book because it was too graphic. I thought Sue Black did a phenomenal job of talking about the cases and respecting the deceased and their families. She talks about them in a very scientific, detached way. That's not rude or anything at all. She did such a good job at describing what the cases were, describing what had happened to these people, and how forensic anthropology was involved, because the case doesn't always get solved, as you know if you read any part of this book. The case doesn't always get solved, but they do their best. The issue that I had was I couldn't get these people out of my head because they're real. I thought true crime drama would be an interesting book for us to read in our book club because it's an incredibly popular genre. Women really love the true crime genre. They like the books, they like the podcasts, they like movies, they like TV shows, you name it. There's going to be a bunch of women listening to true crime. I don't see how y'all listen to these stories and read these stories and then go to sleep at night. I couldn't do it, y'all. I normally recommend that people listen to the audiobooks if there are accents that are key to the story or trying to get pronunciations and whatnot right. I did a tandem read. I listened to the audiobook and I read the book, and it was just, I had to take breaks. Even I thought maybe if I read it in my own voice and I didn't listen to Dame Black's beautiful Scottish lilt, that I could distance myself from these victims. And nope. I am not a true crime girly. I need to go find Angela Lansbury and stick with her in Cabot Cove, or go to England with Perot and Miss Marple and do them little clean little cozy murder mysteries where I don't have to see a body or really know anything about them or anything like that. So this was a really good book. It was just it was too much for my little delicate sensibilities. I'm weak in the knees, y'all. Y'all stronger than me. Y'all better than me at this. I'm weak. I cannot do this. But if you like true crime, if you like the movies, the podcasts, TV shows, and whatnot, this is right up your alley. I promise you, you want to read this book. You probably want to listen to Sue Black talk about it. So, hey, let's dive into that. Now that I told y'all how much how much this was not for me, let's just talk about some of the things. Because, again, this was a well-written book. It's not that it was horrible or anything. It was just, no, honey. Now that I have shared my opinion, let's go on and share this live stream. Please share the live stream out. It lets Facebook know that you like what I'm doing. Go ahead and hit that like button too. But share it amongst your friends. There might be somebody who really digs true crime, and they don't know that there are people like them who also like it or who also enjoy it as well. So, all right, let's launch into these questions. And let me share the screen with y'all so y'all know where we're at, okay? All right, so we're going to go with the first talking point up there. I hope y'all can see that. So talk about specific passages or details that struck you as significant or interesting. Profound, amusing, illuminating, disturbing, sad. What was memorable? That's the first question right there, okay? So let's do this real quick. Okay, so one of the passages in the book that I really liked quite a bit was, hold on a second, I'm sorry. The one that I really enjoyed quite a bit was when Dame Black was talking about how she went to a convention in Saudi Arabia. And in Saudi Arabia, for those of you who are not aware, it is not required for visitors to the country for women visitors to cover their hair or anything like that. But some people do it out of respect. And so what was going on is that Dame Black was all, she covered her head in respect. She tried to dress as modest as possible. I think she put on the long covering too. I forget what they call that dress. It's the long black dress that's a covering. It's not a burqa. It is not a shavarkamis. It is not I can't remember the name of it, but she put that on too. And so when she did see the burqa, women who were the scientists at this convention as well, and they had on the burqa, the niqab. The niqab is when you can just see the person's eyes. Their head is covered, their neck, everything is covered except for their hands and their feet. But even that is just very nondescript. And she was shocked at how the women could tell each other apart. What were they looking at? This was in the face chapter in part 2. She's like, only thing you had to go on were eyes. How are they telling who these people are at long distances away? They can't hear them. What is going on? So they started to conduct a study. They wanted to know how these women were telling each other apart. She mentioned it to one of her male colleagues, and he invited her over to his house for dinner so she could talk to his wife about it. And the wife was like, I don't know how I do it. I just do. And I think the whole point of the story was sometimes if you don't have the face to go on to recognize people, what do you do? How are you recognizing who they are? She's trying to prove a point that it's really hard to recognize your loved ones after something has happened to them that might have disfigured their face, or if you can't identify them by their face at all. And so what she's thinking what's happening is that these women couldn't rely on faces. And so culturally, they just started relying on other things. Maybe like as you notice with me, somebody it talks a lot with their hands. And so you would look for somebody flailing about like this. Or maybe somebody has a particular way that they walk that you notice. So if you see them from a distance away, then in their walking, you might be able to recognize them that way. It could be their body shape. It could be their height. The results from the study that they had conducted aren't out yet. Or if they are, I couldn't find them because this book was published a while back. So let me see. I don't remember when it was published. The copyright is 2020, so 2 years. So, but they just did the study because they were curious scientists at a convention with a bunch of other curious scientists, and they had a little puzzle piece that they couldn't wrap their brains around. So I thought that was one of the more memorable passages from the book on how we adapt circumstances, how we adapt our senses to certain circumstances. So the next question is, which case was the most interesting to you? Again, if anybody would like to join in, let me make sure I got the comments. Yes, I put it, if you would like to join in, if you've read the book and you want to come on in and talk about what you thought about the book, on both of the Facebook pages and the YouTube page is a link for you to click on and invite yourself on, and we can chit chat. But in the meantime, let's go on and move on over to the second question. And that was, which case was the most interesting to you? Again, I thought that some of the cases that were super, interesting, I think was the one where the older woman went to the police and said, if you go to this address, you will find a body buried under these stepstones. And they did what she said, and come to find out, there was a body there. She didn't tell them the whole story. She didn't tell them that she was the caretaker of the deceased person under these stepstones, and that she had been carrying this, it was an elderly lady, this lady's head in a bag. And as she moved from residence to residence to residence for 12 plus 20, I don't know how many years, she just had this lady's head in a bag. Y'all know what? I'm sorry. I should have gave y'all a content warning. I think I kind of did in the beginning of this video when I was telling you it was just too graphic for me, and went into too many details, and I was having a hard time divorcing myself from, oh, these are just cases in a book, because all I could see was these are real people with somebody's baby. And I'm not talking about little bitty babies. I'm talking about grown people who died, but they had a mama. And if all y'all have mamas, y'all know you could be 50 years old and she's still gonna call you her baby. That's what I mean. So I'm sorry, I should have given you a bigger content warning, but y'all, it's gonna get a little graphic up in here. So get ready. Yeah, there's your content warning. Excuse me. I'm turning up the sound, or at least that's what I hope I'm doing. So sorry to be so graphic, but I thought that was really weird. And I guess interesting. I hesitate to use that word because I don't want to seem like a voyeur on somebody's most horrible day of their life, dying in a tragic way. And then if you're their family member, then you're having to deal with your loved one dying in a most tragic way. And, you know, here come all these weird internet voyeurs talking about, oh, true crime, let's drink some wine. Anyway, that lady from the head case, she could have got away with murder. She could have got away with it if she just kept her mouth shut. But I guess her conscience got the better of her. Talk about a telltale heart, i.e. Poe. This lady had a telltale head in her closet that she'd been moving around half of England or Scotland or wherever she was. I think this was an English lady for decades upon decades. And she got in trouble. She got convicted of interfering with justice. I can't remember the British term for it, the English term for it. She had been this lady's caregiver 20 some odd years earlier. And she also took the lady's pension money for a few years as well. So that's what they got her on. They got her on fraud. They got her on murder because they could tell from the forensic evidence that this lady did not die from natural causes. I think there was a chip in her head bone or something like that. And also with the forcible removal of the head. Child, why would you do that? Why didn't you just call the doctors? Quick, tell me. Because you murdered somebody. You murdered somebody and you took their pension fund. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so the link down at the bottom of the screen is to remind you to please sign up for my newsletter. When you do that, you get the author interviews, the discussion questions. You get a guide on other books that you might like that are in the same genre as the book that we are currently discussing. You also get a guide of movies and other and cookbooks and whatnot that you might be able to check out through Hoopla. That's generally the audio service that I use to get the rest of the audio portions of the book. But through Hoopla, you can check them out at the library if you prefer print copies. So definitely sign up for the newsletter so you can stay abreast of all the awesomeness and get early informed articles about the subject matter at hand. Okay. So, question number 3. We have roughly 15 minutes, y'all, again, because of the weird technical difficulties. We're running a tiny bit behind. Let's do that. You already know that. Okay. Oop, no. Also, remember to like the page. Let me see if I can make this not ticker anymore. No, it's just going to be a little ticker. I'm going to put this in here too. Hold on a second. Oh, there. I'm going to put this in as a comment so I don't have to keep worrying about bringing this one up. There. Okay, so there it is as well. Let me just put it in the comment section. Again, remember to sign up for the newsletter so that you can hang out with the cool kids and get nerdy with us ahead of time like everybody else. Okay, there that is. Like the page, please. Boom. Okay, so question number 3. Let's get back to the question number 3. What did you already know about this book's subject before reading? Did the book make you want to explore the subject matter more? Well, one of the things that I already knew about this book before reading it was how much information that you could learn about a person's life based off of their remains, based off of bones. As many of you regulars know, I studied cultural anthropology at Texas A&M University. And in the course of my studies, one of the things that we had to do was learn to identify and look at human bones. And these were real people's skeletons. Usually they came from India. And we had to learn about occipital bones and sagittal crests and different parts of the skull, the mandibles, telling femurs from ulnas and whatnot. And so I already knew that sometimes, depending on what kind of life you had before you died, your bone might appear smaller. We were looking at people's femurs, the hip bone, and they looked like ulnas to us because they were so small, smaller than what we're used to seeing. Let me correct myself. Smaller than what we are used to seeing as Westerners, as Americans. And my professor pointed out, hi, Dr. Detweiler, pointed out that we were just used to bones being larger because most Americans were not malnourished on the same scale that people from developing nations were. Another thing that I knew because of anthropology is when they would excavate the work camps that enslaved African Americans' ancestors were on, they could see literally how a lot of the enslaved Africans were worked to the bone. Like the ligament in the hip socket and the tendons snapped. And that's how hard these people had been worked. They worked until that snapped. And when they couldn't repair that or it didn't get repaired quickly, I'm sure that person was put to death or just died out of misery. They certainly weren't expending any medical or medicine on this person or sending them to the doctor or anything. So you can tell how hard a person's life was if they ate regularly enough, if they had certain minerals, if they got enough vitamin D, if they lived a posh cush life. You could tell all kinds of things based off of the information that's left in bones. So I knew a little bit about the evidence that bones carried with them. Some of the things, though, I got a firsthand account on how depraved some of my fellow human beings are, and I'm hesitating to call them people human beings. I think after in the book, I believe it is the face chapter, after they were talking about those poor Korean women who were found in suitcases of this one landlord's house, and at the same landlord, he had another house. They found a second body of another Korean lady who went missing, and I think she was in his wall or a chat. I don't know. All I kept thinking of was these people's families. I just kept thinking of their mamas wondering what happened to their babies. Where is my baby? This is not like her. These people went to go travel and explore the world. They didn't want to get killed and stuffed in some ding dang suitcase and folded up like so much detritus. It was just ugh. Yeah, so I think that's what I learned. I mean, I thought I understood how deprived people could be, but this just really put it in my face, like literally put it in my face. It's like, look what people will do to each other. Ugh, Okay, one thing, where I have a different set of notes. Here they are. Let's go into some more questions. So remember, please like the page. It lets the algorithm know you like Lovely and you like what I'm doing here. It really supports me. Again, also share the live stream, because I know that if you're smart, you got some smart friends and they want to talk about all the awesome stuff we're talking about too. Let me hide that so to get out the way. Okay, so question number 4. It's not question number 4 in here. We're skipping some of these because I think they're a little messy. Or like the question, what did you Google while reading this book? Nothing. I didn't Google anything. I don't want to see any more pictures. I don't want to learn. Nope. I didn't Google a ding dang thing. I did Google those disaster victim PDFs that she said to download and see if you could fill them out for your family and see how hard it is to describe them to other people when they're not right in your face. I couldn't really even find the so I did try to Google that, but that's about it. Because I promise you, Miss Mama's is real thorough. She knows what she's doing. She knows what she's talking about. It. You can tell if you read this book. Consummate professional. So I didn't want to Google anything because Sue Black told me everything I needed to know, which I was in the wrong lane. I'm in the wrong room. Like I said, let me get some Nancy Drew and Hardy Boy mysteries to go and solve. Let me go and find me a cozy mystery book to read and get on up out of these mean streets. Anywho, so let's see. Number 4. I did find this interesting. Y'all notice how I'm finding all the not violent stuff real interesting? Discuss the differences between the criminal justice system in the UK and the US. So one of the things that I noticed, which I thought was really fascinating, is that in Scotland, you as a professional expert witness, I guess everybody too, not just, I guess they don't have open court system like we do, but you're not allowed to sit in on the case. So you don't know the legal strategy of the defense or the prosecution. You don't meet them or anything. You just go in. You don't know about the evidence. You don't know what evidence has been presented or has yet to be heard. You don't know anything. So you just go in cold as ice. They ask you some questions and then you answer your questions and you leave, I guess. Also, you have to stand in a witness box. Like you literally are standing up. Dame Black, I like saying Dame Black because she got a nice title. And I believe if you have a title, even if it was conferred to you, I'm going to use it. Watch me meet Sir Elton John, and I'm going to keep calling him that, and Sir Patrick Stewart and all those people. Anywho, so Dame Black, because you have to stand in this witness box, she always takes her shoes off and stands there because she's standing up this whole time. But also, I think it makes her feel more grounded, if I'm remembering correctly, is what she said. So I thought that was interesting. I think there are probably some other things that I was just too shocked to remember. But I really do like the idea that the expert witness does not know what the prosecution or the defense, what their strategy is. Because as she constantly talks about in this book, she's trying to remain as partial as she can. And how are you going to remain partial if you already know the defense attorney and the prosecutor's strategy? What if you're friends with them? What if they tell you some stuff inadvertently that makes you leave out a piece of information that might convict an innocent person or let a guilty one go? I think that's interesting. It made me really want to look more at Scottish law and the criminal justice system in the UK, because some things are similar, but a lot is not. And I just, do they have a right to remain silent? I think they do. I watch a lot of British detective shows and whatnot, but I don't know if they have a Miranda rights like we do. Oh wait, we don't have that no more neither. Oh, let me hush. Okay, let's go into the next question. We're gonna wrap this up in about 10 minutes to make up for some of the time that we missed. These are the last two questions that I find the most fascinating, because we're finna get into this, y'all. Number 5, or the 5th question that we're going to ask is, if you're a fan of crime fiction or true crime, does this book add anything to your overall understanding of the genre? I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of crime fiction or true crime. I like forensic anthropology because I think humans are neat and their bones and things don't disturb me. But true crime and crime fiction, I think the crime fiction part, because it's fiction, I can get a little bit into it, but sometimes those writers are just too descriptive. They're too good at their jobs, and then I'm having nightmares about fake people. People ain't even real. None of this even happened, and I'm all freaking out about Silence of the Lamb or something. I don't know, child. So I tend not to read that much in that genre. But I do help a lot of y'all find these books. Y'all love true crime. I did a display one time on true crime, and it was the sign wasn't, to me, that engaging. It was just some, a little blue detective and a blue chalk body outline, real basic. Y'all ate that display up. Those books, I had to keep putting them up and putting them up and putting them up. Y'all love true crime. So I don't get the appeal, because maybe it's because, I'm sure it's me. Like I said earlier, I'm weak in the knees. I'm not standing up. Stand up. I'm not standing up. I'm finna show y'all how much this is not for me. I'm gonna faint. I'm gonna faint on y'all. I'm weak in the knees. I'm finna pass out, telling me about all these horrible things that happen to people. No. So I don't want to yuck anybody's yum. I have so many of y'all telling me, oh, I like it because of this and this and this. And I believe you. I 100% believe you. As to why you enjoy these things, I don't think you're weird or creepy or anything. It's not my cup of tea at all. So the one thing I guess that this book has added to my level of understanding of the genre, is how hard the people whose job it is to figure out or try to figure out what happened to these folks, how difficult it can be, based off of, maybe somebody being arrogant or pseudoscience or public opinion, or not keeping abreast of the latest research and different things you have to look about. Oh, she talked about in here face transplants and how it's going to be a matter of time before face transplants make it hard to identify somebody in case they're murdered, because a face transplant is somebody's old face combined with your new face, and then they medically put them on your face, and you combine the looks of both of y'all. So now you're a third person. And she's like, what's going to happen when we start finding the evidence of this? How are we going to adapt to that in the profession? She's constantly talking about adapting to different breakthroughs in cosmetic surgery, so that when they're trying to identify somebody, now we also have to remember that people might be getting minor cosmetic surgeries for vanity reasons that totally make it harder to identify them, like shaving their cheekbones down or getting BBLs. Again, I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum. If y'all like plastic surgery on your body, then I love that for you. But what the professional Dane Black was saying is that after all the soft tissue decomposes, all of your cosmetic alterations can interfere with how somebody might be able to identify you. She said not veneers, though. She said, oh, y'all that got them veneers, you got to go to get such heavy dental work. There's bound to be a dental record somewhere. She was talking about different kind of chemicals and radiation that was found in people's bones. but also how that is decomposing so quickly. We can't even depend on that anymore. Not decomposing, but the carbon-14, it's outgassing. That's the non-scientific term for it's not as strong as it was when it first got into your bones. I can't remember how to say it scientifically. Sorry. Okay, this is the part I wanted to get to, and then we're going to wrap it up in like 5 minutes, is question number 6. Let's go over here again. Let's see. There we go. The 6th question is, how do you think popular forensic shows and true crime media affect court cases and criminals? So, again, they're all kind of popular forensic shows, all kind of special CSI victims and Jag this and Jag that and Bones, and that's the TV show with not based off of the Kathy Wright books and all that. The question is, how do you think popular forensic shows and true crime media affect court cases and criminals? I think that for some criminals, especially if they're paying attention to social media, podcasts, YouTube, TikToks, all these different online platforms, it might embolden them to get some kind of social media following. There are a lot of people out there who will do pretty much anything for clout. I wouldn't put murder above somebody's head, especially if they've already murdered people. Why not commit another one? I mean, that's not me saying that because I don't run around killing people because I don't be doing that. I don't want them kind of problems. But somebody who already does that, child, there's nothing to stop them from wanting social media fame and acclaim by putting their stuff out on social media. The other thing too, the closest that I will get to any kind of true crime genre is the show Only Murders in the Building, with Martin Short, Steve Martin, and what's that little girl name? Selena Gomez. That's the closest I'm going to get to it. But again, it's cozy. I don't really ever have to see the gore and deal with the aftermath. But I do think that there is a lot to be said by some of these people online. I'm specifically thinking about YouTube, how people are putting on makeup and discussing the most heinous acts and horrible things. Some of these crimes have not ever been solved. There's podcasts called Wine and Murder, or Murder and Wine or something. So you're drinking and you're discussing murders, like not people just dying from natural causes, not people getting caught up in natural disasters like the tsunamis and not people getting caught up in mass events like the massacres at Kuala Lumpur. But people who have been brutally murdered and sometimes tortured beforehand, or slow deaths, or the case of those poor Eastern European women in the book where she was talking about she was in Italy and the Gerda were just at a nice, beautiful restaurant showing her pornographic pictures and butchered pictures in front of everybody, and they act like it was just hey, it's just a Tuesday here in Italy and a day that ends in Y. I think it desensitizes people. I think that folks who are not actually a part of the death profession, that's a broad umbrella term I just made up, treat it too flippantly. They don't have the professional credentials to lose or the reputation, and they end up disrespecting the dead. They end up disrespecting the dead people's families. I have the other side of all these popular true crime podcasts are the family members who are alive. There's this young man who said, imagine how horrible I felt when I realized that somebody was telling a story about my aunt who died, and I never got to meet her, but I was starting putting 2 and 2 together, and I realized they were talking about my aunt like it was just a comic book, or like she didn't have family, like somebody didn't love her. Like they're still not grieving because they don't know what happened to their family member, and they probably never will. So I think that is what I think about the popular forensic shows and true crime shows and the effect on our court cases and criminals. Again, I am not saying that if you like these kind of things, speaking of like the page, let the algorithm know you like what I'm doing. I'm not saying if you like these kind of things that you're a horrible, wicked person. I'm sure you're quite phenomenal and lovely. I I just think that even the people who are doing these podcasts and these YouTube videos and TikToks and whatnot are not being mindful. I don't know how much money they're making, but you can make money. You can make money on Patreon and all kind of things if your content is popular enough and you find an audience. There is money to be made. And I'm sure there must be a respectful way to do such a thing and not come off so callous and flippant. I mean, she figured it out. I mean, he have a whole nother job, so she don't really need to write these books. She just do that because she's real good at what she does. But if she never wrote a book, she'd still have a job. Some of these people, I think, are letting their livelihood of YouTube make them forget their manners and ethics. Because if it was them or one of their loved ones, I think they might want things to be handled differently. I'm going to guess on that part because I'm always trying to assume that everybody is really a good person. So I'm just going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they weren't thinking about that. Maybe it never occurred to them. Maybe they never been confronted with the victim of one of these true crimes, and they just don't know. So yeah, I think that's roughly it. Pardon me, y'all. I'm so sorry. That was kind of gross. Excuse me. So again, thank y'all for joining me. Sorry about the weird technical difficulties. Like I said, I don't know what happened, but I'm glad y'all are here. I'm glad that you were able to spend some time with me here today. And I want to ask y'all to join me for next month's book. Oh, wait, maybe I can do this. It's Elatsue. Let me see if it'll let me share screen. This is next month's book. It's called Elatsue. And it's by Darcy Little Badger. Okay, oh. So we're going to hit cancel. So we did that already. Oh, it was telling me, hold on a second. Hold on. It told me that I had to hit share and not cancel. So we're going to say share screen. And then I'm going to go here. And then I'm going to go back here. And I'm going to say share. Share. There. I hope that's what it looks like. This is, y'all supposed to be seeing a picture of the cover of the book Elatsue. Okay, I think you were. Let's get this out of here. Let's not share no more. Stop screen. Okay, so let me read the description of this awesome book. Oh, there's illustrations in here by Rovina Kai. Imagine an America very similar to our own. It's got homework, best friends, and pistachio ice cream. There are some differences. This America been shaped dramatically by the magic, monsters, knowledge, and legends of its peoples, those indigenous and those not. Some of these forces are charmingly everyday, like the ability to make an orb of light appear or travel across the world through rings of fungi. But other forces are less charming and should never see the light of day. Elatsue lives in this slightly stranger America. She can raise the ghosts of the dead animals in a skill passed down through generations of her Lipan Apache family. Her beloved cousin has just been murdered in a town that wants no prying eyes, but she is going to do more than pry. The picture-perfect facade of Willoughby Mass gruesome secrets. Of Willoughby Mass gruesome secrets, and she will rely on her wits, skills, and friends to tear off the mask and protect her family. So basically, we got a murder mystery, y'all. We got a murder mystery. See, I can handle this. Talking to dead animals, no problem. Falling into a fairy ring, because that's what she meant by the ring of fungi and traveling across a fairy ring. I know what they are. Look for the ring of mushrooms. Don't step in there. The fairies got you. Don't eat nothing them fairies get you. Not in no fairyland. You'll never get full again. I can handle this. The audiobook is available on hoopladigital.com. That is free with your Pueblo library card. If you need help signing up for that, you can give us a call or come into any branch and we'd help you. Or you can put a physical copy of the book on hold and check it out. either way, I'll be happy to discuss this book with you until we do our live stream next month. Just check in on the Lovely from the Library Facebook page. I'm going to put the announcement of which book we're going to be reading in August and the date and the time of the live stream, which escapes me now. I believe it is going to be the third Thursday of the month at 4 versus the 4th, but I'll double check that and let y'all know. But that is also why you need to sign up for the newsletter, because sometimes my brain gets a little frazzled and I don't remember all the things. But that's what the newsletter's for. I always update it. I send out about 2 a month, maybe 3. So please sign up so you can get all the early information, all the cool interviews in case you don't have a Facebook, or you what did I say? In case you don't have a Facebook, or just in case you want to have some early stuff happening. Okay. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate your time. Thank you for joining in, and I will see you next month with A Locked Away by Darcy Little Badger. Y'all have a good rest of your day.